Welcome to the Narrowboat that James built. Hope you're well. Thanks for joining me. Don't worry, we haven't stepped back in time. I'm using an old phone for this video because the girls are using my phone for internet. Right, I really need to start shoring all this up. It's all square, so that's all right. But I've had to put in that support up there. Just kind of really bought those, kind of prized them two uprights apart, so I now have to work out a way of kind of keeping it like that but without having something at the top, because the fridge occupies pretty much all of that. I might going to do it at the back, but it's up here where it's really coming in because there's quite a lot of tension in those bends. So that is where I need to kind of strengthen it all, because if I just support it at the back, it will still kind of spring in it up here at the top because of that tension. So it really does need to be kind of firmed up, all of this. So some glass fibering in there is going to be required, and in there. That will kind of stop them two from moving, but I still need to shore up all of this. This one here has already been fiberglassed, and kind of there was a few weak spots in this, you may recall, but obviously they've all gone now, where the light was kind of bleeding through. So I think it was there, but I'm not 100% sure now. But it feels different. Just obviously that one that's had quite a lot more packing feels a lot better, and it's had quite a bit more varnish on it. That feels okay, but this one here, much kind of, I don't know, feels really kind of vulnerable, those two edges there. So that even though the fridge is going to be in there, they definitely need to be reinforced. But as I said, I think it's gonna, the other thing is this hasn't been reinforced at all, these sections here or there, but the fiberglassing has taken out the strain in the bend. Obviously those aren't as acute, those bends, so there's a lot more tension and strain in them. So the fiberglassing will at least kind of alleviate some of that, I'm hoping. Anyway, so I've tied it up in there. I'm gonna place myself in there once I get all my bits and pieces ready. Okay, the way I'm gonna kind of test this theory is if I was to take out that support there, you'll see them kind of spring back into place. At the back, it's quite easy to kind of fit that in, but as I put it forwards, it gets kind of tighter and tighter until it gets to like that point where it's really kind of a bit of a strain. So that's where it's got to be. That's where everything's at right angles. Good. So I'm going to fiberglass that edge and that one down there, let it go off and see if it holds in position, and that's therefore really freely easy to move back and forth. Right, 250 mils of resin, a load of pre-cut up bits of glass fibre, and that little bend to do. So after wetting it through, I then get a piece of glass fibre, prod it on, and then start kind of pressing it in with a resin soaked brush. It takes quite a lot. This is quite thick matting as well. You want it to get it so it's completely saturated. And those white spots, basically showing you where it's not saturated enough. Basically you just want to prod it so you don't get any air bubbles, of which you can see I'm getting a few. And repeat. And when you're going up the layers, just overlap it slightly so it starts to build up the thickness, and then the strands kind of intermesh once they're all wetted through, and kind of bonds it all together. Right, that's had a thorough kind of 2 or 3 coats now. So I'll let that go off and do the same in there. Not as much space to manoeuvre in this one. It hasn't set at all yet. You can feel that just feels much thinner. So yeah, I think that's just going to work, but I really just want to see how much it kind of takes away that elasticity or the tension from the bends. Right, that's that one done as well. A bit messy on the inside, but never mind. Yeah?
There's something wrong with the television.
Huh?
Something wrong with the TV.
Oh, okay, I'll come and sort it. Yeah, and immediately it feels and sounds much more solid. Right, I'm going to leave that to go off, and the girls are all taken care of. Well, the TV's taken care of them. I'm going to cut up a door for that. Okay, without a doubt, that's the nicest board I've got in terms of kind of patterns. That bit there is really nice, but it's filthy, so I'm just kind of seeing if I can clean this up and get it to a half decent standard. I could use that bit there, so yeah, but I do like the look of that bit. I don't know if you can make that out, but that's the bit I'm going for. It's just basically got the nicest kind of patterns in there. Right, I've made up the door. There's the door. So for that to fit in kind of nice and snug at the bottom, I'm going to have to route out that the kind of the last 2 sheets of ply for it to fit in like that and overhang the melamine. The problem is, therefore, is that on these bits here it's fine because it's all glued and secured into that and it's not moving. On the door it's going to come off, which means that it runs the risk of resting or that little bottom bit snapping off. So to avoid that, and to save myself the faff of having to route out the bottom 15mm of the door, I'm just going to set that back by 15mm and then get the multi-tool on that bit there and just take that bit out, because that'll obviously be eclipsed by the door, and on that side it's fine. So I just shimmy that back a little bit. Right, I've set that back by 9mm to accommodate the width of the door. Now I'm just going to lop off this little bit here. Right, now the door should sit in flush. Yeah. Okay, that's quite a tight fit. It's just held in by friction at the moment. That kind of gives a flavour for the finish of it. Yeah, happy days. So my plan is to obviously support the door more by gluing some stuff onto the back of it. And then in terms of how it's going to fit in, I had kind of thought about hinging it. Problem in there is quite a few people commented that, you know, when I have to open the door for the washing machine, basically I've got 2 doors to open. There's not much room to move around here. It's going to be a bit of a, well, just a bit annoying really. So I'm going to do what I did on Slow Patrol for most of the cupboards there and just put it in with magnets, which means that when I need to open it, just pull it out, you know, kind of rest it up there or whatever. And after a few years of living on Slow Patrol with that kind of system, I've got to say it does work really well. It's nice and easy. So I'm going to opt for the same, don't have to worry about any hinges and stuff, and therefore trim, all I'm going to do is do a bit of trim down that side and a bit of trim down that side just to conceal the seams, but they're pretty good. Cut that with a jigsaw. It's kind of a little bit bulgy on that side there, so I might sand that back a bit, but yeah, that's okay. Right, so what have I got to do? Might as well whack some varnish on that whilst I've got the heating on and the other stuff drying out. Right, I need to shore up this door now so it doesn't start to bow a little bit, so I'm just going to glue on some batten on here. I've glued up this door. Obviously that bit there needs to house the sheet of melamine at the bottom of the door, so that's in the right place. I can't get a clamp around that side, so I'm going to leave that to go off. Now I've got to take the kids out to a skate park that I've seen, which I reckon they'll like, and it has stopped raining. Lovely. Well, thanks for watching this video. This is some old stuff, again, found on this old phone. I've taken the girls to skate park, dropped them home. I'll be back at the boat tonight, and tomorrow I'm moving the boats down to cow roast and hopefully cracking on with a bit more work in the galley. And then it's time to start on the dinette and bedroom 2, or the midships cabin. See you then. Thanks for watching. Bye.